Hello everybody, welcome to the lesson 3 of Java programming language, that is naming conventions and data types. As part of this lesson, I'll be explaining you all the naming conventions in Java, and then we'll be discussing the data types of all different types like integer, float, character, string and boolean, and we'll also be discussing the literals of all the same types again. When going to the naming conventions, this naming conventions helps us understand how we have to write a package or a class or a method when when you write a Java program. So a package represents the subdirectory that contains group of classes and interfaces. So whenever we write a package, these are a few examples of packages: java.awt, and then IO is for input output, and swing you can also include java.lang, that is for language, and many more. And when you write a class is a model for creating objects. Whenever you have to create an object, class is must and should. You have to write a class if you have to create an object. So as part of that, a class should always begin with a capital letter, and this from the second letter onwards it should be all small letters. And we're writing a new word, then again the first letter of the new word should be capital. Like data input stream, when we are considering, D capital we wrote, I and S also capital, because all those two are new words in this. And when you come for class and an interface, this contains methods and variables. When you're writing a method, it should begin with a small letter, and only when a new word is included, then the first letter of that new word should be of capital. Like if you see here, read line also, L is capital. If you see get number instance, N and I is capital. If you discuss like this, you'll be having three more types of this naming conventions. For variables, should be the same. They should begin with the small letters only. Only if they are writing a new word, the first letter of the new word should be capital. You can use special characters like underscore when you are writing variable names. This is very much similar to that of the methods as we discussed previously. And for representing fixed values, when I say fixed values, they cannot be changed at all. For example, pi value is always same, that is 22 by 7, 3.143 something. And then maximum value, if you want font to be bold, that will be bold completely to the entire whenever you use in the program. So these fixed values should be of capital letters again, and all the keywords should be written in small letters only, all complete keywords. If you're using public static void main is also a keyword where you write that also in all small letters. All these things are to be remembered, because whenever you write them into a program, you have to make sure that they are written as per the rules. When you write them against the rules, the program may not be executed, or you may get errors into the program, which makes us so confused that where is the mistake that we have done. When coming to the data types, we discuss about integer data types. We have this integer data types to store only integer values. Like example I gave, 15, 125, minus 2514, and 0.521, etc., and so many integer values. These are again further classified into byte, short, integer and long. All these memory sizes are specified here, and their maximum and minimum values. That means a byte can store 1 byte of data from up to minus 128 to 128 numbers. Same case with the short, int and long. If you're writing byte rule number 10, or 10, it can include anywhere in between this maximum and minimum values. For int also, it can be 12, it includes anywhere in this maximum and minimum values. Float data types, these are mainly used when you write decimal points, when you want to represent numbers with decimal points. For example, here I took 2.35, 0.024, and negative numbers are also valid for float data types. In this, they are again classified into float and double. The only small difference between this float and double is that double can store higher decimal values when compared to that of float. Here float can store 4 bytes of data, whereas double can store 8 bytes of data. Coming to the character can store only a single character. This can store any single alphabet like A, P, or any other special characters like ampersand, star, or anything else. This is only for 2 bytes, and it cannot store any negative values because character cannot be negative, right? When coming to the string data types, string is a group of characters as we have discussed. This data type contains any number of words that you can take, but the condition is that they have to be kept within a single or double quotations. Only then that is considered as a string data type, or that data can be stored in this string data type. So as part of the example, I gave New Delhi, USA and AP124. This also considered as a string because it is beginning with an alphabet. Alright, coming to Boolean data types, these data type represents only 2 values, that is true or false. As part of the Java, JVM uses 1 bit to represent the Boolean values internally. That is, if you take 1, if you want to represent it as 2, then 0 is considered as false. If you want to represent 1 as false, then 0 is considered as true. So this gives us a choice on ourselves how we want to represent Boolean values in our program. Coming to literals. Literal represents a value that is stored into the variable directly in the program. That means if you want to store any value and you want that to be stored directly into the variable during the program, then that situation or that kind of scenario is called as a literal. In this type of literal, this can be of anything. If, for example, here I gave Boolean result is equal to false, that means Boolean result is a variable which is storing the value false. If I write character gender as male, gender is a variable which is storing the value m, that is male as we consider, and then short s assigning some value and integer assigning some other value. In this again we have all the different types like integer, float, double and all. We'll be discussing one after the other. When you come for integer literals, these literals represent fixed integer values like 22 or minus 58, 0, etc. Like they cannot be changed when you want to change them during the execution of the program. All these numbers belong to the decimal system, use only 10 digits, that is from 0 to 9. Any kind of variations you can do from 0 to 9 and store them in the integer literals. Here I'm writing decimal value as 26 in int and octal value as 032. 032 in octal is represented as 26 again. Again in hexadecimal values also I give 0x18. This when you convert into decimal type, it is given as a 26. When you come for float literals represent fractional numbers. These are again of fixed numbers. These numbers are with decimal points 2.0 or I wrote here e. This is also considered as a number because float stores from 0 to 9 and then a to f. That is also the same case with double also. So double d1 is storing some value 234.4 and then d2. These both are very similar, but the only difference is double can store more decimal points when compared to float. And coming to f1, that is a variable in float data type, storing this value. Character literals are of again 4 types. When we discuss this character literals, these are of general characters like all the alphabets or numbers that you write, but they can store only single value at a time. Coming to the special characters, it includes all the special symbols like you write question mark, a dollar symbol, at the rate, you write ampersand or anything else. In unique characters, these have only few unique things that we want to use in our program. That these character literals of unique character types are very rarely used. Coming to the escape sequence, these are like backslash codes as we discussed in the previous lesson. /t for one tab space, /n for the next line, and etc. These character literals should be enclosed in a single quotations, whereas we saw string should be enclosed in double quotations. Character have to be enclosed in a single quotations. String literals represent objects of the string class like hello, new Delhi, or anything else. And boolean literals again used for storing only true or false. Here, as I specified before, JVM is considering 1 as the inbuilt value. It is up to us if we want to give 1 for true or false. Choice is given on us. This is all about all the what do we say, data types and naming conventions that we saw. Coming through a quick summary of all these, we have seen that by following all these conventions, so many mistakes can be avoided by the programmer, because few times we don't understand what is the error that we are getting, though we write the program correctly. In that situations, naming conventions are to be checked very carefully once again. And in writing names of these packages, class, variables or methods, etc., we have to be very careful, because we shouldn't make the errors to appear on these kind of areas, because that represent us that we are not a good programmer. Coming to the next, we discussed all different types of data types in terms of data received, stored or used in the program. We saw different data types of integers, characters, float, double, and boolean. We also saw the literals of all these types again. This is all about this lesson. Short and simple, but we have to be very careful when you use all these naming conventions or the data types in your program, where we have to make sure that because of these type of things, there should be no errors that have to occur in our program. Thank you so much, and if you have any doubt at any point, you please let me know, post it in the comment section. I'll see through it and make sure that I'll get back to you with your questions. Thank you.